Greetings and salutations. This is Chief Security Officer Don Corleone of American Muscle Security, LLC, in conjunction with stackbooksfoundation, LLC, in conjunction with Parent Group Confidential, LLC. Salute to everybody that's with us during Operation Reforge. This is Operation Get Well USA. And I am your host, is Donnie DeGard, badge number 11516 46472. Bodyguard, whistleblower, watchdog, search party coordinator, me special police. I did say police. This is Operation Get Well USA, but we've upgraded to Operation Meshach, and Abednego, and I'll explain that in a minute. Basically, to save the lost who have found themselves in jails and institutions in death, not just this time of year, just in general, and it's just basically a scripture from the Bible. And, you know, these guys, Meshach, and Abednego, they found themselves in hell. And the Savior appeared, and he said, "Be still, for I am the Lord." And he brought them out of the flames unsinged. Okay, so that's where we get Meshach, and Abednego. Operation Meshach, and Abednego was an idea that I thought of when I myself was doing some time in a county facility. Okay, but it's Friday, November 28th. It's Black Friday 2025. We're coming up on a brand new year. Are y'all ready? It's going to be a brand new year. 2026 is almost here. What's your New Year's resolution? Do you plan to do anything different? Do you plan to keep it the same? Okay. Today, I'm going to practice a little bit of theater. This is a podcast that's a unique podcast where you're able to stand. I got about this much room, you know, according to my camera on my laptop, to walk around and do some theater. For those of you who follow me as an artist, Prince Rao, as a doing business as Officer Don Corleone, forensic self-employed forensic scientist, forensics certified technician, or just me, Aarao Cornelio Jr., birth name. If you follow me, you know that I'm certified in performing arts at NYU via Coursera. I still study not just performing arts at various universities through Coursera, but I still study at Coursera in general, EDX, Aeps, Allison.com, etc. I'm also certified. Discover Acting is a class that I took at London University. And I bring this to your attention not just so I could give myself accolades, but because I have a drama club that I'm looking for people to join. Young Othello's drama club, specifically young black males, young Latinos, young. If you have any persuasion, even if you're white, it really doesn't matter. But I really want to get those who I feel like the education system has really, hasn't got a hold of this type of particular person. You know, I'm looking to reach somebody like me. I mean, back in the day, I didn't always find interest in going to school. People had to shake me and wake me up out of the bed. Hey, get up, go to school. You know what I'm saying? And finally, I got with the program, etc. Today we're discussing two main things right now. This is a different class on performing arts. You can this is the syllabus, University of Colorado Boulder. Okay, and there you have the professor. You can take it, and it's so far it's a cool class. I like the material. I'm gonna read you a little bit about the syllabus right now, but also we have right here. A&E Live PD. This is a transcript. This is something that I've been doing for a while, studying transcripts so I can get down the structure, the fundamentals of walking in the shoes of a law enforcement officer, even though I'm not going to school to be infantry, which is somebody who's rides in a squad car or a beat cop or whatever you want to call it. That you can call it what you want to. I'm just going to school to be a lab scientist. Some people call it lab rat. Some people call it flashlight cop. Call it what you want. I just want to work in a lab. Currently, I have my own remote lab, PGC remote lab, Parent Group Confidential remote lab, where I study environmental scientists, marine biology, forensic sciences, etc. Also the basics in sports medicine. but it's good to also, like this one right here, this live PD is uber angry. And the reason why I chose this is because it's interesting to see the different perspectives, where a person who would be not a usual suspect ends up being the suspect, and see both sides of the law and how the pendulum swings and protects everybody. But we're gonna start it off first off with the University of Colorado Boulder. Let's talk about acting and let's get into it, because it's not gonna be, with Young Othellos, we don't just practice acting, Romeo, Juliet, and police stuff. We're gonna be, obviously, I want to do like NYPD, CSI, Law and Order, but I also want to get into the TV show Cops, studying that, studying another 48, or pardon me, first 48, rookie year behind bars. Those are some of the ones that I want to, because there's some that are reality based, there's some that are fictional, which is more the Law and Order stuff, and then basically bring it back to the syllabus and to what we learn in class. Now, a lot of the stuff, like if it's questions on an exam, if it's anything like homework, we can't talk about it, but we can talk around it, and we can certainly find stuff on Google, and certainly in these books here in the library. Okay, so as you know, I'm looking to start some form of a union. I have a student organization, Stack Books Foundation, LLC. That's my my student organization. My main one, PGC Labs, is a that's sports medicine oriented. American Muscle Security LLC. That's something that I want to venture off and do to really protect my, not just my creative works as in a creative way, but anybody who does creative projects with me. A security company. So this is way off in the future. We're thinking like way after I graduate, but let's just start with the basics, all right? And first, before we get into the acting part, let's get into this correctional officer creed. And this is something that I've been saying for a while, and I've been memorizing, and it's just fundamentally the type of principles and the type of morals that I want my roommates to have, because I'm looking to move in with some guys that are going to keep me sound faith, mentally sound mind, sound body, and just of good morale, a good character. All right, so I solemnly swear to speak sparingly, to act, not to argue, to be an authority through personal presence, to correct without nagging, to speak with the calm voice of certainty, to see everything, to know what is significant and what not to notice, to be neither insensitive to distress nor so distracted by pity as to miss what must elsewhere be seen, to do that which is neither unkind nor self-indulgent in its misplaced charity, never to obey the impulse to tongue-lash that silent insolence which in time past could receive the lash, to be both firm and fair, to know I cannot be fair simply by being firm, nor firm simply by being fair, to support the reputation of associates and confront them without anger, should they stand short of professional conduct, to reach for knowledge of the continuing mysteries of human motivation, to always think, to be dependable first to my charges and associates, and thereafter to my duty as employee and citizen, to keep fit, to keep forever alert, to listen to what is meant as well as what is said with words and with silences, to expect respect from my charges and superiors, yet never to abuse the one for abuses from the other, for 8 hours each working day, to be an example of the person I could be at all times, to acquiesce and notice on this act, to cultivate patience under boredom and calm during confusion, to understand the why of every order I take or give, to hold freedom among the highest values, though I deny it to those I guard, to deny it with dignity, that in my example they find no reason to lose their dignity, to be prompt, to be honest with all who practice deceit, that they not find in me excuse for themselves, to privately face down my fear, that I signal not, to privately cool my anger, that I not displace it on others, to hold in confidence what I see and what I hear, which by the telling could harm or humiliate to no good purpose, to keep my outside problems outside, to leave inside that which should stay inside, to do my duty. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I love my flag, my beautiful flag, my shiny white and blue. I love my flag, my beautiful flag, my shiny white and blue. All right, so listen. You know, you've seen the seasons. There's a lot of editing that I gotta do. If y'all watch Cops and Live PD and you think there's no editing done, then you missed the whole Love Boat. Because it's a Titanic, yes, there's a lot of editing done and everything. All right, anything that gets filmed, there's a lot of editing done. I want y'all to bear with me and forgive me if you know a lot of my past series really, if it brought offense to anybody. It was a huge learning process, and school in general is a huge learning process, especially when you switch majors. You know, I went from media studies to criminology, so you know what I'm saying. You're gonna expect something like that when you're coming with somebody that's he centered in the entertainment business, and suddenly you want to get into criminal justice. Um, but let's talk acting, all right? William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, an actor's perspective. University of Colorado Boulder, and then it has my name, my address, my email, and my phone number. Okay, that's how you're gonna. I'm gonna teach you. You know, those who I'm gonna bring into this Coursera thing. I'd be out there like that. I'd be like, hey, yo, is anybody interested in signing up for Coursera? You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in being one of those type of mentors for people who maybe are working on getting their GED, or they already have their GED, or they started college, they have some college, but they dropped out for some reason and trying to kind of figure out what to do. So I want to, you know, I'm not trying to be in here doing this by myself because no man is an island. Let's talk about discovering acting in this class, An Actor's Perspective, William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. All right, let's get to it. Taught by Kevin Rich, Associate Professor, Theater and Dance. All right, about this course, let's talk about it. Have you ever wanted to read Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet? This course will provide a guided reading of the script and expose you to the perspectives of actors who've performed in the play. It primarily consists of interviews with 14 professional actors who have participated in at least one production of Romeo and Juliet somewhere in the U.S. at theaters and Shakespeare festivals, including American Shakespeare Centers, American Players Theater, and Arkansas, Colorado, Illinois, New Jersey, Utah Shakespeare festivals, which would be great for my company, Young Othello's drama club, my theater company. You know, for us to have a stage, if you're a church out there or some type of organization where you have a venue or a platform, if you're a spoken word lounge, we would love, you know, me, myself, and people who can't speak right now on their behalf to perform, you know, a play like this, a shortened version, one of my short stories, the 8 Million Stories of Prince Rao, the miseducation of Prince Rao, you know, Think Like a Cop, Diary of a Glad Man, Ounces to Pounds, stuff like that. We'll get to that later. Okay, let's stick to the script here. In completing this course, learners will be able to describe the plot of Romeo and Juliet, identify main characters and themes, analyze and interpret heightened text, and consider multiple theatrical approaches to the play. This course strives to be of interest to multiple audiences, but we think it may particularly appeal to Shakespeare enthusiasts and to Shakespeare curious in all walks of life, actors, theater practitioners, teachers of Shakespeare everywhere, secondary school and college students interested in expanding their studies of Shakespeare, interested readers with little or no familiarity of Shakespeare at all. Okay, level of this class: beginner, commitment 2 hours a week or for 5 weeks, and how to pass all graded assignments to complete the course. Act 1. Let's talk about it. In this module, you will be introduced to the course and some of the major characters in the play. You'll hear perspectives on the major events in Act 1, including the feud between Capulets and Montagues, Romeo's love sickness for Rosaline, the marriage being planned for Juliet and Perry, and Capulet's party where Romeo and Juliet meet for the first time. So, I literally totally know nothing about this play. I've heard about it, but this is not one of the familiar plays that I can tell you about. So let's skip a couple pages real quick here. Okay, so this is the generally just the syllabus here for this class. I did print up a little bit of the script, but it's not with me on my person. So we're gonna get into this live. PD uber angry after these brief messages. For now, we're gonna pause and say shalom.